I put 2 brand new tires on my TopHat utility trailer, tightened every single lug nut I had. Come to find out, I did it totally wrong. I found that out by doing a little bit of research after the fact and talking with Claude or Anthropic's AI, because it's helped me out with a little bit of this stuff too. This is going to be a short one, but it is actually very important if you're doing any kind of trailer tire work. When I put the new tires on the first time, I just used my 1/2-inch mid-torque impact wrench, which I thought would have been fine. That's what it's for in my eyes, but I learned a little bit more, and it's mainly for taking things off and that breakaway torque, and then also getting them just to their tightness if you don't want to hand tighten them. But it's not just as simple as get the lug nuts tight and move on. The problem is, an impact wrench has no idea how tight it's actually going. It just keeps going until you let go of the trigger. Where on these trailers, cars, any type of vehicles, that matters a lot more than I realized. So I started looking into it after putting these on with the impact wrench, just out of curiosity, to find out that, like I said, did it completely wrong. Each trailer has its own specific torque foot-pound rating based on the stud size, how much the axle can hold, which my TopHat trailer has 2 3,500-pound axles, so it can roughly carry around 7,000 pounds, and the studs were, I think, 1/2-inch, the manual said, and the rating for it was anywhere from 80 to 95 pounds, which isn't too bad. An impact on a trailer like this could not just be over spec, but way over spec, maybe 150 foot-pounds of torque up to anywhere from 300 foot-pounds of torque. I didn't research mine specifically, but that can stretch and crack your studs over time, which is not good at all, and that will be a lot more expensive fix than just getting a torque wrench and getting it to the right spec. And also, on the flip side, under torquing is just as bad, because at highway speeds, I probably don't need to explain why, but they'll start to come loose, and if you lose a tire on the highway, that is also just as bad as over torquing and then mangling your studs or your rotors or whatever your wheel is budged up against. All of that can kind of get mangled. Either way, when it comes to tightening your lug nuts, you need to know the foot-pound torque spec, and you need a way to hit it. It is that simple. So I went and got a Kobalt click torque wrench. The weight of foot-pounds of torque ranges from 50 all the way up to 250 foot-pounds of torque, which covers basically my utility trailer, camper, car, and pickup, probably past that. The way it works is simple. You set your target torque the lug, and when you hit that number, you got to put a lot of weight on it, obviously, and then it clicks. Verifying the spec in the manual, I went with 90 foot-pounds of torque because it's right in the middle of that 80 to 95 range. All right, so I'm going to loosen the lug nuts back off with the impact that I used to incorrectly torque them on. And then I hand tightened a couple, but it was about to start raining on me, so I used the impact just to get them to snug, and then put the click torque wrench on there to tighten them properly. One thing worth knowing, you should torque your lug nuts with the wheel on the ground, not in the air. It gives you that extra weight to put that force on the torque wrench so that wheel doesn't spin on you. Set the wrench to 90, right in the middle of our spec range, and we should be good to go. Another thing worth noting is to torque your lug nuts in a star pattern, not in a circle. A circle pattern can actually warp your hub or tire hub over time, and if you keep doing it, it'll just slowly get worse and worse. Doing it in a star pattern distributes the clamping force evenly across the wheel and overall hub. That's really it though. Impact wrench to get them loose and then get them snug, or hand tighten if you want to do it that way. And then click torque wrench to finish off the job at that right foot-pounds of torque. roughly 2 to 5 minutes per tire after that. It was pretty simple. I just didn't know the right process or have all of the right equipment. But that all allowed me to make sure it was done right. I'll link the Kobalt I used down below. It has that good range. Like I said, it'll cover, smaller utility trailers than mine, obviously going down to that 50 foot-pounds all the way up to 250, which can do trucks and stuff like that. So for the price, it was pretty good investment, I would say. If you're doing any kind of trailer prep work, drop a comment. I am doing this to prep for a cross-country move where I'm going to be driving this trailer all the way to Pennsylvania. So if this helped, leave a like and subscribe, and I will catch y'all later.